Hi everyone, this is Lynzee, the Ascended Unicorn, and I'm back here today to bring you a reading for the Aries full moon. Thank you for joining my channel. I appreciate all your subscribes. I know I am slowly trying to grow that subscriber base, so I appreciate all of you who watch and like and subscribe to the channel. Before I get started, just want to again remind you that I do offer private readings. You can contact me through my Gmail at theascendedunicorn@gmail.com. Or you can follow me on Instagram and DM me there. I post, daily readings as often as I can, and have some fun over there. And growing the community there is really fun too. So anyway, just wanted to go over a couple of the energies that I'm hearing about for the Aries full moon that's taking place on April 11th, 2021. It is the first new moon of the Zodiac year. As we know, Aries is the first sign in the Zodiac. So we're, encroaching on a fresh new year. It's a great time for new beginnings, setting brand new intentions and manifest this, and the things you want to manifest and put energy into. And also planting new seeds if there's any opportunities that you foresee wanting to come out. Actually, when I was doing the pre-shuffle, I did see the Ace of Pentacles come out. So that's, fresh new beginnings. The energies of this moon specifically is about like re-embodying that I am with confidence. As we've kind of gone through our lives and as we grow up as children, we're kind of told what we should be and who we should be and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And this this new moon is trying to tell us to kind of go back and rethink about that and take ownership of what it is that makes you who you are, without taking into account all of that stuff that we've been programmed to think about ourselves, right? That authenticity is really important. And being who you truly are and want to be and feel you are is really important. Releasing old stories about ourselves, which kind of is in line with that. If we've been told we're a certain way by our parents or by our friends or even in work situations, we start to believe that, when you can totally reverse that if you choose to, right? Because maybe people have told you these things to keep you down or because of societal norms or whatever it is. So, reprogram some of that stuff. Also, rethinking about how you are thinking about life right now. Are the thoughts that you have every day, are they nourishing your soul? They're nourishing your mind? Are they nourishing your like essence, right? Or are they taking away from that? I've personally had some struggles over the last couple of weeks with just stress and balancing my day job and all of that. And I got into a pretty negative head loop, which really impacted me. But kind of changing that perception of, okay, how am I thinking about this? If I continue to think about these things as stress inducing and negative in my life, that's all they'll bring for me. If I think, like maybe there's a reason I'm going through this experience, I'm gonna get through this. Like I am divinely guided and protected and everything is always working out for me. And believing in that, I was able to kind of pull myself out of that negativity and walk into a more positive headspace where I'm kind of taking one day at a time and one item at a time and one project at a time, which really helped instead of thinking of like all of this doom and gloom and impending doom that kind of came up. So that's something to also think about. The other thing is also about going back to your inner child and playfulness, right? Like we don't always have to be work, work, work. We have to have these moments of play to kind of balance out our lives and bring joy into our lives. Without that, I mean, it's easy to fall into the negative mindsets, right? Like we have to have these opportunities to go out and have some fun and play a little bit. And then also keeping in mind, Aries is a fire sign. It's a very much a warrior sign also. So you might be feeling some energies across the board where you're feeling like you have this burst of new energy and motivation to do things. So that's really cool. A lot of planets are actually moving into Aries, and I think all planets are actually still direct. So that's like forward movement energy as well. So lots of good things coming in with this new moon, fresh starts, fresh new beginnings. So I wanted to do a collective reading, energy reading for this new moon. We're going to be talking about, let me flip back to my page really quickly. We're going to check in with some overall energies. We're going to do a spirit animal energy, some movement cards of like where we're going. We'll do a 6-card tarot spread, and then close off with some advice and affirmations. So let's go ahead and get started. As I mentioned, I did pre-shuffle already, so I'm not going to shuffle too much. As a reminder, this is general and collective, so if not all messages will resonate, and if they don't, I would just take what does and don't mind the rest of the messages. There might be, if you clicked on this video, there's most likely a message here for you. If nothing resonates at all, then, this just wasn't your reading. But I will be posting some new readings in the next couple weeks with like springtime forecasts and, of course, the Aries birthday reading as well. All right, so we're going to use the Moonology Oracle to get some overall energies for this new moon in Aries. Sorry, I missed too many cards. All right, new moon in Aries, overall energies, please. New moon in Aries. All right, so we have work through your fears and luck is on your side. And both of these are new moons, new moon in Scorpio, new moon in Sag. I think this is that balance that I was talking about with those energies, right? Like balancing out the fear and understanding that everything is going to work out with this new moon. We need to move out of this headspace of what the shoulda, coulda, woulda, and I'm supposed to, and this is what everyone wants for me, or this is what I think I need to do, as opposed to this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm meant to do, right? Intuitively deep down what it is that you are supposed to be doing, or not supposed to, I don't want to use that word, but what you feel you authentically want and need to do. And sometimes our fears come up and after we have those intuitive hits where we think, oh yeah, that sounds great, but can I really do it? That's when the fear comes in, right? But if you'd never try and you don't break through those fears, then you never know. So believing that luck is on your side to help you through it is really what we need to remember. And you don't have to be so serious about it. When I feel the word luck, it feels more like playful, right? And that's kind of what we talked about, is like re-embracing that play. So try not to be so serious, kind of like make some movement forwards with some new, exciting, creative ideas. Maybe they're like out of this world, or they seem weird to you or someone else, or they seem like, dang, I've never done that before. Is that even something I can do? Yes, try it. You might as well. Something that keeps coming up for me the last couple of weeks is if you don't try, or I'm sorry, if you do try and it doesn't work out, or you get rejected or whatever it is, you're going to be in the same place that you were before. But if you try and it works, then you've gone somewhere forward and you've done something more, right? So you might as well. There's no reason not to try. Oh yes. Also, just a reminder, I do take a bottom of the deck message. So I take the card at the bottom of each deck and I save that for a message for the closing. So, but anyway, okay. So yes, so our overall energies is kind of like release the fears, understand luck is on your side. Don't be so serious. Like when you're setting those new intentions and you're planting those new seeds, like reach for the stars. Like it may sound ridiculous or weird or crazy or whimsical or whatever it is. Just write it down and think about it and create it. Maybe the world needs more fun and fancy and whimsy, you know? All right, so we're going to use the Spirit Animal Oracle. I think this is called, and it's a Colette Baron read. And we're going to get the animal energy for this Aries new moon. All right, what's the animal energy for this Aries new moon? We'll take one more. So we have Nightingale Spirit. Love is all around. And I love this picture because this nightingale has a little crown on it, which is kind of, you know, a very, and this look that she has, she's very like regal, very Aries, very, you know, I don't mind cussing on this as long as you don't mind, but like a badass boss bitch, you know, that's what she seems. The other thing I really like on this card is the flowers look like old, like record players. I forget what those are called, something phones. But like, and you see the little music coming out. Oh, I did never notice that before, but little music notes coming out of them. And you know, nightingale is a musical bird. She chirps. And it's funny because I think I mentioned this on a different video, but recently, since spring has kind of sprung, at night, I'm hearing a lot of birds chirping, which is very unusual. So that could be something about like, you know, like we were talking about, like if something seems crazy or strange or whimsical or something, or you're doubting something could happen, like maybe like sing that song, like it's unique, like go ahead and try it, like be that unusual thing. It may confuse people initially, but if you believe in it and you have passion enough, like you can make it happen and make people understand and make people believe, you know? And also just like this, you know, confidence this bird has. So, you know, sing your song, dance your dance. You are uniquely you, and be strong and confident in that. And whatever ideas that you come up with and whatever manifestations you want and whatever seeds you plant, like give them that confidence and that strength and that love to create this new song that you want to sing out into the world. And then we have White Raven Spirit, trust in the magic, trust in your magic. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And he's looking right at this nightingale. It's like he believes in you. This White Raven Spirit believes in you, and I think that's example or representative of spirit and the divine. You know, God, source, the universe, whatever it is that you feel is your guide or your energy that that gives you energy. He's looking directly at this nightingale, seeing her and giving her confidence and seeing her confidence and knowing. And that's part of it. Like, you know, we can't just sit back and wait for things to happen for us. We have to stand in this confidence and believe, because the more we believe, the more the divine knows that we're ready, and they know that we can, not that they don't think we can, but we're ready for whatever it is that they have planned for us, right? We are only given things when we're ready. And if we continuously have this fear or talk ourselves out of trying, then they know we're not ready. So be ready for the divine to make that magic happen for you. All right, so our next pulls. You know, sorry, just one thing that came up is, you know, just as this being the first new moon of this new zodiac year, like be ready for this year, like stand tall, stand ready. This is our shot to set up the year the way we want to. Let the divine know you're ready, and this year is yours, and this year is when you're ready to go and to sing your song and play that song and create that unique thing that you need to give to the world. Okay, so our next pulls are going to be from the Sacred Travelers Oracle. And this, we're going to go over 3 different placements. It'll be where are we going, what should we be focusing on, and then where should we be taking action. Sorry, I probably already did that, but I just felt doing it again. All right, so 1 card for where are we going from this Aries new moon. Where are we going? Where are we focusing on? Where should we focus on? Sorry, my cards are flying everywhere today. And then where should we be taking action towards? All right, so where are we going? Solitude. In silence, peace prevails. I don't know if this necessarily for me means you should be in solitude, but I think it may mean that you should go within and find peace within and, take your moments for me time and like your meditation time and really decide what it is you want to put your energy into with this new this new moon that's coming, the energies that are supporting you. Like, where do you want to align with those energies? What are the things that you truly want to manifest from within you? And we have this owl here, and owls, I don't know how often you guys have watched my videos, but I think I've mentioned before, owls have been very significant for me in the last year or so. And they really do signify wisdom, and wisdom comes from experience. And that was something I read. Actually, I subscribed to the Moon Deck's emails, and there was something today about this specific new moon talking about we don't value our lives on what we have, but more of our value of our life should come from our experiences. And I think, as I said, wisdom comes from experience. So taking all that wisdom that you've collected up until now and starting this new zodiac year off and with this new moon and all this supporting energy that you have and helping you kind of clear out the old stories and clear out the old beliefs of yourself and the old programming that you might have gotten stuck in the past, and moving forward from that into what you know you truly are to be from deep down, and taking that solitude time for yourself to understand what that is. And then you kind of see her like looking into this pool. And that kind of reminds me of like scrying, or like when, like some of those movies where you see the witches look into this potion and see the future. And it kind of is like, okay, what am I going to bring into the future to create my new song, and trust and use that magic to go forward. And find peace within, like from a peaceful place is where you will find what you truly want and what you truly want to manifest and create. So that's where we're going. I like that. That's cool. What we should be focusing on, embracing enthusiasm. Again, it's like with that playfulness, like you don't have to be so serious, but you can be excited. Shout to the heavens with happiness. Like be excited what we have. Be excited what you are doing. Gratitude, appreciation. Everyone talks about living life in gratitude. Like we have abundance all around us, and to really appreciate what we have now so that we can draw more into us. The more we appreciate what we have and the more grateful we are for what we have, the more we can attract things back to us. And you see she's like talking to these butterflies as they're floating up into the air. That's like when you speak out loud, like, I am grateful, I am love. It's almost like affirmations, right? You're putting them into the universe and they're flying away and putting those energies out into the world, for the collective. Um, so, get excited again. Like, we have a fresh new start. That's what we should focus on. Um, like, speak your manifestations into reality. And of course, we have this really cute like flower crown for springtime. So spring is here. Use this, joy and the bright and the colorful energies and this like the blossoming of things to like help move you forward. And then what actions should we be taking? Staying focused, hold the course, like be dedicated for yourself and for your ideas and for the divine, and don't like waver. Hold the course. Stay focused on what your goals, what you decide on this new moon. Don't cave to this fear. Work through them and hold the course. That's the actions. I love that. That's really cool. Don't like basically the action is just keep what you're doing. Like keep focused, keep passion. So I really like this progression of, figuring out what it is you really want from a place of peace. What will bring you peace? Using that wisdom to figure that out. Embracing this enthusiasm of like, yes, I can get there. I don't have to think and be so serious all the time. I don't have to like be afraid of the work or be afraid of how it's going to happen. I just have to believe it will. And then staying focused on exactly that. What is exactly what you want, It's not about the how right now. It's about the what. It's about that. What is it that you want to create and what is your goal? The how will happen naturally. I mean, you do have to take steps like this nightingale spirit, confidence and know that you are going to do it. But at this point in time, it's not about the how, it's more about the what. That's what I'm feeling anyway. All right, so we're going to move into the tarot message. And I just felt kind of called to use this a more classic deck today. It's it is a Rider-Waite, but it's the Radiant the Radiant Rider-Waite. So it's a little bit, the colors are just a little bit more poppy, which I like, and the cards are a little bit bigger. So we're going to do a 6 placement tarot message. And again, I pre-shuffled, like I mentioned. The 2 cards that I did see pop out were the Hierophant and the Ace of Pentacles, as I mentioned. So definitely about opportunity. The Hierophant is about like, typically it's about like tradition, but I think in this case it could be about sticking to your guns, like not wavering, like we talked about, not caving to the fears. Like, the Hierophant sits there on his chair and he's very confident. He's a teacher. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's bringing to the world is valuable. And I think that's what it kind of signifies with this, Ace of Pentacles. And also like, Ace of Pentacles is about planting seeds, putting that seed in the ground. That kind of gets it to start growing. It's a new seed, like you're fresh planting it, and have that confidence of the Hierophant, knowing that what that seed you're planting is what the world needs, All right, so let's cut this real quick. So first placement is, what are we leaving behind with this new moon? What are we leaving behind? And it's even with this last year, knowing that this is the first new moon of the zodiac, like what are we leaving behind? Cool. So we're leaving behind some confusion, and this could also be some kind of like muddled thoughts or cloudiness or or, I think going into this new moon, like we said, we're going to get clear on what we want. So like we're leaving behind this confusion. And I just see like fogginess. That's the word I was looking for, like fogginess. Like maybe we've been in a little bit of a brain fog the last couple months, or the last, little bit of this Zodiac year. March was personally a little difficult for me. I was definitely in like a weird, crazy emotional fog, and I didn't really feel connected. I did get a Reiki session by one of my really good close friends and fellow light workers, Left Wing Light Work. If you're interested, you can follow her on Instagram. She does great Reiki sessions, and she's located in Long Beach, but she does do distance Reiki as well. So I would highly recommend if you're interested. But that kind of helped me get out of my fog and reconnect with spirit and reconnect with my intuition and being able to do tarot again. I was even not doing a lot of tarot just because I didn't feel connected. I felt very foggy. So we're leaving that behind going into this new year, and we're moving forward. With the Chariot. The Chariot is about forward movement, and it's also about being in control. Like, even though we see these two, like, usually it's like horses or something that are moving forward, or and pulling this chariot and potentially going two separate directions. It's like finding that balance and knowing that you have options, but you are in control of those options. They're not in control of you. So you can explore multiple options. You just know that you are in control of the outcome, or whatever will happen, or whatever needs to happen will work out. So that's cool. So you're moving away from this fogginess. And then Two of Cups. I mean, typically this does say something about like relationships, but I feel like this could be a partnership. This could also be not necessarily a person, but something, a thing like that we were talking about. Like you're finally connecting with that brings you the passion and ignites your fire. I wanted to mention that I brought out my carnelian aura flame here because it's very like fiery, and it brings out confidence, and it's said to be like the caffeine kind of crystals, but I thought it was very fitting for this Aries energy for this new moon, and about like reigniting that fire. And I think Cups is very emotional, but like finding that thing that you connect with emotionally. Maybe it is a person, maybe it's a partner, a business partner, maybe it's a job, but whatever it is, this is what you're going towards, right? Like you're leaving behind this fogginess, you're taking this movement forward, and you're going to find this like reconnection with something. So that's very positive, and that's very, hopeful. I like that. Placement number 2, what should you focus on now? Ooh, I was going to fly out, so I'll give that one. What should we focus on now and embrace in this new moon? What should we focus on now and embrace with this new moon? Oh, there's that hair event. I told ya. All right, so the placement of these cards is very interesting. So, of course, we have the Hierophant in the middle, which is what I was talking about, is being confident. Like he's teaching these people. He knows he can bring things into the world that are needed. He's a leader. He's a guide. Whatever it is that you feel is your mission, stay strong in that and stay confident in that, and know that you're helping others in the collective, and that's what you're supposed to be doing. Now, that he's this placement of like he's between these two cards. We have the Queen of Swords and we have the Knight of Cups, but they're both reversed. And the Queen of Swords is someone who, the Queen of Swords reversed, when she's reversed anyway, is someone who second guesses herself. So we're leaving that behind. We don't want that. We don't want someone that second guesses herself. We don't want someone. I don't mean we don't want someone. We don't want to be this person who second guesses themselves all the time. Like, it's good to like check yourself on occasion, right? it's good to be realistic and rational, and to be self-aware. I'm not saying don't be self-aware, but don't second guess yourself to your detriment. It's easy when things happen or things go wrong or get stressful where we start to question our decisions. But you have to have faith that your decisions are the best for yourself. Whatever decision you make is the right one, regardless of what should happen or what is supposed to happen, because those don't matter. Everything will always work out regardless. And so every decision that you make is the right decision. So you don't want to second guess yourself, and you don't want to like be wishy-washy and like not speak your truth and not speak the things that you need to say or do the things you need to do. So you want to embody this Hierophant. We don't want to be in this Queen of Swords energy reversed. And then this Knight of Cups energy reversed is also about emotion. Like we don't want to not express our emotion. We want to, it's like finding that balance, right? We don't want to, we also don't want to, we don't want to be overly emotional and like just like have our decisions be completely led from an emotional place where, sometimes I get up, like for example, sometimes I get upset because I don't feel something is the right way to do something, but you still have to, if it's like from a consensual place, from like a group of people or from a friend or whatever, you still have to try and see how it goes. Like you can't just like come from this emotional place just because you have like this, some of it comes from fear also. So we don't want to come from a fear-based emotion. We want to come from a more rational place. And that's kind of like, we more want to be like this, right? That kind of levels up to this Hierophant. We want to be the combination of the Queen of Swords upright and the Knight of Cups upright. It's like this balance of rational and emotion and truth and passion and confidence and getting to the point, as well as consideration and compassion, right? This is what we want to be. And so to level up into this Hierophant. So I think embracing this Hierophant, which is, like I said, that confident person that puts something out into the world. And these are kind of what we don't want, and the energies we don't want to embody or embrace. Instead, this is what we want to embrace, right? All right, number 3, what's coming in for you in the next 30 days? Oop, I just saw a flipper. There we go. What's coming in for you for the next 30 days? All right, that feels like too many cards. I'm gonna take off. I'll take one more. What's coming in for us in the next 30 days from this new moon to the next new moon? So we have the Sun reversed and we have the Queen of Wands. So I think with the Sun reversed, it's kind of saying like, your ultimate, your sun is coming, like that success is coming. The success of your goals are coming. And I love how this Queen of Wands has the sunflowers that kind of match here, right? The sunflowers in the sun and the sunflowers with the Queen of Wands, they match. So like the sun is starting to come out for you to grow these sunflowers. And the Queen of Wands is someone who's very confident. It reminds me very much of this nightingale. Look at their faces. They're even like the way their heads are turned, the crown, the coloring with the yellow and the green. She's not afraid to sing her song, just as this nightingale. She believes that love is all around, and she knows that love is all around her, and feeds off that love and abundance around her to give her the energy to be confident and to know that she's making the right choice. So that's from this new moon to the next new moon. Once you've decided on the what, you're gonna like have this new growth of confidence, and the sun's gonna start coming out and shining a light on the how, right? And you just have confidence and know that the how is coming, and the sun is gonna slowly come out and shine that light. So that's really cool. What's coming in the next 30 days? I really just love that sunflower thing that happened. All right, next placement. Over the next year, what will you be manifesting? Huh. That's interesting. We have 9 of Cups, 9 of Swords, 2 nines. 9 of Cups, but they're both reversed. 9 of Cups reversed is kind of about, 9 of Cups upright is about wish fulfillment, but it can also sometimes mean overdoing it a little bit in something, being overly emotional or potentially over like partying too much or drinking too much or just like celebrating too much. And then 9 of Swords, obviously upright, is worrying too much. So I think with these reversed, and what you might be manifesting over this next year is just some kind of like, again, with this balance. I think like you are coming to a place where you're not going to have you're not going to have such major swings where you're worrying too much or partying or like, because sometimes we celebrate or indulge to cover up feelings on one side, and then we stress. It's like a pendulum kind of, right? And we stress too much on the other side. So maybe that's some like what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe these are just things you've noticed in yourself over the last year. I know, excuse me, with the whole staying at home by yourself a lot. I don't know if many of you live with others or haven't been able to see your friends, and we're kind of dealing with all of our own emotions internally by ourselves. So it's easier to get those huge swings of emotion because we don't have an outlet to kind of talk about them and discuss them in a way that can help us balance out. But I think over this next year, you'll be able to kind of stop those huge swings from happening, because they'll be working on all of these cool things, right? You're staying focused on the what you want. You're getting excited. You're manifesting. You're putting your manifestations out to the world. You're becoming confident. You're understanding that what you need is out in the universe. You're moving away from this head fog. And so by the end of this year, you'll be in a much more balanced place where you are feeling at peace. Like we saw in this solitude card, where you're feeling at peace. You've used that wisdom and you've used your experiences. And over the last year, you're going to be like right where you need to be in between these two swings, So I like that. All right, and then the last card we're going to take is just a card message from Spirit, cards from Spirit. So right away, this tells me, I don't know how everyone feels currently, but for myself, relationships are the things that are the furthest away from my mind at this moment. And like refinding the passion for self is what's really important for me right now. And I feel like that's what this new moon is trying to tell us, is like leaving some of these old like the old stories, like behind, about, and that's kind of this depiction of the lovers is the Adam and Eve story of where the female was the culprit of, all the problems and whatever it is, and um, leaving that story behind and remaking a new story, finding a new passion. Like this Ace of Wands is aces are always about new and fresh. And you see like, I talked about that Ace of Pentacles being the seed, and this Ace of Wand could be like that new sapling that's starting to grow. And that seed was this new story that you planted. We don't have to attach ourselves to this old story, about ourselves or about relationships or how we are in relationships or a relationship with our job or a relationship with our family or all of these things that everyone has put on us or we have heard or that we have told ourselves over and over. They're old stories that we can release and rediscover ourselves and be new people and change. Like change is possible. And you know this because you are growing and you are ascending and you are expanding your knowledge spiritually and your knowledge of yourself, and every experience that you have gives you that pool of wisdom more and more, and you are not stuck and chained to the old stories that people or society or you have created about things for yourself. So I think that's what Spirit is saying. Like he's handing, this is kind of cute. Like the Spirit is handing you this new wand. Like this is your new story. Nurture it. We talked about those nurturing thoughts, right? Nurture it, feed it, give it water and sunshine and joy, and watch it grow, and leave this old story behind. Leave this old stuff behind. We're going into a new Zodiac year. We're going into this new moon, and we have these new things that we want to create and develop for ourselves. Leave the yucky stuff and the fears and all that stuff behind. It's not worth it anymore. So I like ending on that really nice spiritual note there. All right, so we're going to end with some advice from Spirit. We're going to pull a card from the Moon deck, and then we'll pull a card from the Dream Oracle cards. I thought the Dream Oracle cards was fitting since we're talking about like manifesting your dreams and reigniting your passions and stuff, All right, what's advice from Spirit for this Aries new moon for the collective? With a steady mind, I am connected to our collective experience. So I think that goes very well with this Hierophant card, about, creating whatever it is that you want to create. You're creating for the collective and have confidence that whatever it is, the world needs your gifts and your creation and your projects and your things that you want to put out there. We also see like her third eye open, which is also spiritual. He's the Hierophant's a spiritual teacher, religious teacher. You are tapping into spirit and your intuition and helping others grow spiritually as well. I think many of you out there have found yourselves to be teachers to others and guides for others. So that's the collective experience, right? You're putting your gifts to use for the collective by being that guide and that teacher for others. What's funny is this reminds me, there used to be a festival I used to go to called Lightning in a Bottle, and the Woogie stage was always the place that I really enjoyed the most. And this reminds me of that stage setup for some reason, like the shapes of it. And I just remember always feeling so like the Woogie stage was its own little community, and we all were creating this collective experience together, dancing and dressing up in a way to like excite others. and showing others the ropes if they've never been to the festival before or been at that stage before. So I thought that's kind of interesting. All right, so we'll end with the Dream Oracle cards. Aries new moon. What is it from Spirit? Like, what's some advice from Spirit on these Dream Oracle cards? Advice or affirmation. Sorry, it got a little messy. All right. Purse, wallet, pursue your true wealth. I'm going to just bring these cards up again because that's what it's about. You are worthy. Self-worth is huge. Both of these, we'll call them both queens. This nightingale is wearing a crown, so why not? They know their true wealth as individuals, and they know they deserve what they put out into the world and what their goals are. And that's what this is like, pursue your true wealth. Like, that's what this has all been about. It's like planting those new seeds, getting excited again about like your ideas, getting innovative and creative, and putting all of that out into the world and like manifesting that over this next year. So that's really cool. And then flood, express the ocean of your emotion. I know we talked about not being overly emotional, but I think like expressing the way you feel, with that, when we talked about that Queen of Swords reversed, she doesn't typically feel comfortable expressing her emotion. So something about getting it all out. Maybe this new moon actually is an opportunity for you to, when you're in this moment of solitude, like get all that stuff out that you've been holding back. Get all those emotions out that you've been holding back. Maybe write them down, talk to someone, write people letters, make a YouTube video, whatever it is that will help you express all of that emotion so you can kind of clear out all this stuff that we've been talking about, like the old stuff that we need to kind of just move away from. And I like, interestingly, that this usually with water, it's blue, but we see this red because it's about passion and this fire. We're in this fiery energy, that Aries energy. And like I said, many planets are going to be in Aries. So we want to like use that energy to kind of get all that stuff out and like take action to get all that stuff out and express all that stuff. And so we can move forward. All right, so we're going to do the bottom of the deck message. Give me a couple minutes to just look at the cards really quick. Aw. So just want to say that these are almost exactly what we're talking about play and reconnecting with your inner child. Rediscovering that play. That's what this new moon is about. Rediscovering those things that got you excited. Like the stuff that you left behind, like something, for example, for myself is I always liked acting and singing when I was a kid. Like that was something I really enjoyed, but I lost that over time because I didn't think that that was something I could do for long term or professionally or anything like that. So maybe for me, I can start, singing again or rediscovering, I don't know, some kind of outlet for music or participating in, I don't know, new things that are in line with something like that, where it's more creative and expressive, as opposed to, my day job's very numbers oriented and Excel charts and things like that. So just finding a new way to be expressive, creatively. So I know that's not the full message, but here we go. So we'll get through this. A personal issue reaches resolution. So that's good. I think that is to do with the doubts and fears and things. Then maybe there was one specific situation for you where you were feeling nervous or scared or afraid. And it would never kind of hit that resolution point. But this is kind of confirmation, but it also could be more general where you're, for some of you, where it's just maybe like we talked about that last few months of the brain fog and the fear. It's going to finally clear out for you. Time for that deep dive, like we talked about, like going deep internally and finding what it is that you want to bring out into the world and manifest. You are a beacon for others, like we talked about, like you with this thing that you're going to be discovering that you want to do and provide to the world. You are going to bring a light to that thing, and people will look to you as a leader and be thankful for what you are bringing into the world, into others' lives. The Emperor, having confidence and control and staying focused and staying steady in what it is that you're developing and manifesting. Don't lose that drive. Don't lose that motivation. And then, but balancing out with this play and this inner child, like this is kind of a mixture of this whole reading. Like each card kind of is a mixture of this whole reading. It's like all the different puzzle pieces. That's kind of how I see it. It's like, believe that things are going to work out. Take that deep dive. That's what this is. Sorry, let me explain it. These are kind of like, if you were to make a list of what your like next steps are, or like the phases or the process of what you should be happening during this new moon, or how you want to go throughout this next year even, or how you want to go throughout this next month of the new moon. This is your step-by-step process. We'll go through the cards. Know that things are going to work out in your favor. Take that deep dive to figure out what you want. That's step 2. Step 3, understand that you are this wise leader, and whatever it is that you need to bring into the world, that it's valued by others, and it will be valued by others, and that you should have no doubts in what it is that you want to bring to the world. Then we have the Emperor. That's you putting in the work. That's you making the thing happen. That's you understanding that the how will come, and that you will put in that energy for the how, and you will stay steady and controlled in developing whatever it is that you want to manifest. And then these are your things to keep in mind as you're doing this, is continue to stay playful. Try not take things too seriously. Like giving that energy, like don't always be in this Emperor energy constantly. Like it's good to find that balance, and then reconnecting with that inner child and leaving behind those old stories, like making sure that and it kind of goes around in a circle, because I would say coming back here, by letting go of these old stories, you're able to understand that things are always working out for you and finding a resolution. So if you kind of think of these in like a cycle kind of, which is kind of interesting. So anyway, that was the reading for the Aries new moon 2021. I hope that you found some of these messages helpful. And again, I appreciate you tuning in. I love you, and I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.